Good morning. I guess summer's over for us. We had that nice stretch during seeding. It was nice and warm. Now it's it's just cold. Like the wind's blowing out of the east. It's cold. Still is about, whatever. It's plus 10 or whatever, but that's it's not the greatest. Some updates. Camper is sold, so that's heading out the door on Thursday. It's Wednesday today. Or is it Tuesday? I don't know. Days run together for me. Was out doing some custom spraying for the neighbor. Well, way over there. Then I went and did some custom spraying for his friend way over there. That's how that went. What else were we doing? I don't know. Oh, we made a ton of bags. I had a hydraulic leak on my sprayer, so that got a repair there the other day. It was just a seal up in there, just an O-ring in one of those. Got that fixed. So today I gotta give this a wash. I'm gonna this hydraulic oil was kind of like misting out of there over everything, so I'll give it a little wash and then I'll grease it up. I was just inside watching the auction sale, which actually made me laugh, and I was gonna point this out, like whatever you want to call it, the auction sale rush. You're sitting there, with COVID and everything, there's really no in-person auctions anymore, so you're kind of sitting online at home, which is okay, saves you a drive. But these forks, actually, so the last sale in Grand Prairie, I was watching online, and they were like $1,000. Now, of course, you got to take into account everything under $2,500, I think, has a 10% fee. So if it's $1,000, boom, it's $1,100, then GST. Then you got to go get it, wait in line there. And the line at the Ritchie Brothers place, because they're such a large auction company, I mean, you could sit there for 2.5 hours. So I was driving around in my tractor. I was actually floating the lawn when the sale was going on. It was like $1,100. I was like, I really need a new set of forks. My old forks over there, they were kind of a homemade thing, and one fork was bent. And anybody that knows, when you're trying to get into a pallet or anything like that, if one fork's bent down more than the other, it's a real hazard. And then I was getting these totes, and they're heavy. And anyways, I needed new forks. So $1,100, $1,200, $1,300, and finally I gave up. I was like $1,300, another $130 plus GST. Plus then I got to dedicate a day and go get them. And we hadn't until that day, we hadn't done a whole bunch of research on forks. So I phoned my wife. She happened to be in Beaver Lodge, and I was like, I wonder if anybody around here sells forks. And then I typed it in on the internet, and the Douglas Lake dealership, the New Holland dealership in Grand Prairie, had a set of forks. And they were, I want to say, $1,300 or something. And I thought, oh, well, that's just a no-brainer, because that's cheaper than the auction sale by the time you factor in the fees and everything, and you don't have to wait in line up to go get them. So she typed it in, and bam, yeah, this is a big city right in Beaver Lodge. I never even thought of them. So she phones him up. He's like, yeah, no, I got forks here. They're 5,500 pound forks, brand new, the adjustable ones or whatever. And I think she paid $1,100. So like, $400 cheaper than the auction sale. Plus, she just drove over there. She had the truck, and he just loaded them right in the back of her truck for her. No time at all. So when you're, and I'm not, there's a lot of people that as soon as they don't buy something at the auction sale, the first thing they say is, well, it's sold for more than new. And I mean, that certainly is the case. I don't think that's the case with everything. There are the odd buys at an auction. But those forks particular, it seems the smaller stuff has a bigger market of people looking at it, right? So your lawnmowers, your camper trailers, your you know the stuff that the everyday person needs. I mean, there's not a lot of people going to the auction sale looking for a 2012 D11 Cat. You know, that's kind of a specific group of people. So you may or may not get a buy on that. But this little stuff, when like 99% of the population is looking at it, I mean, everybody has a skid steer that lives on an acreage. Everybody wants a camper. Everybody wants a little trailer. Everybody. So those things, yeah, they're generally not a buy at the auction sale. So don't get caught up in the, the auction sale hysteria.
You getting it nice and straight?
For me?
The child right behind you. Look at him.
I guess you can Google it. They're good at that. There is a lot of information.
Good evening. So, last bag for the night, going in the mill right now. But I thought I'd walk out and check out just how the wheat is coming. Oh man, I don't know what the summer's gonna bring, but I can tell you we couldn't be off to a better start, really, as far as growing goes. So this wheat now, this was in early. We seeded this, I think, the 29th of April. So it's been at her for 27 days, I guess, but it looks it's looking pretty good. It's this is our second year with the 12-inch drill row spacing. We're kind of narrower the better type people, but everybody's been 12 inches has become the new narrow spacing, I guess. So whenever you're reading articles and they're talking about narrow spacing, they're talking about 12-inch. Then it goes up from there, 16, 18, 20, whatever. Once you get into corn, soybeans, I think it changes all again. But our old flexi-coil drill had 9-inch spacing with 3-inch paired row. So it was actually, there was very little space in between the row of seed. But this is coming up quite nice for sure. So last year we used it. The seeding conditions were terrible. It was muddy. It was awful. It was gross. So you really couldn't fault the drill, I don't think. Basically, if anything grew, you should have been happy. But we've also been missing the massive dumps of rain. It's been super spotty around our area. So to the south they got it, up north they got it. Right here still we have more than enough moisture. However, we don't have too much, as anything, very susceptible to water pooling right now, so you don't want that to happen. Our peas, they're just coming out of the ground. They do not like water. Anybody that you'd know this from gardening, peas don't like to be wet. They don't like to have their feet wet, they say. So we're hoping to avoid those big dumps of rain. We'll see how this all goes. Definitely can't complain about the wheat.